Hi there, welcome to STEMJourneys.org. We bring literacy to science and scientifically literate citizens to the world. I'd like to show you a very cool project we got to do with Sanford Research called Reading and Relevance for All Students, where industry and education partner. My name is Jess Rowell. I'm the founder and president of STEMJourneys.org, and I teach middle school science in Maryland. I'm joined by my longtime colleague, Kim Silvrance, who also teaches middle school science in Massachusetts. Together, combined with our 27 years of science and curriculum development experience, we partnered with Liz McMillan, the former education director for the Sanford Promise K-12 Education Lab, which is part of Sanford Research in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The unfortunate cancellation of NSTA in Boston this year, where we were currently scheduled to present for the national conference, opened up a unique opportunity for us to still provide the information for teachers who wanted to bring this passage to their students, either in the informal learning environment, the home learning environment, the distance learning, and of course the traditional classroom as allows. Let's go ahead and get started. We decided to begin this project out of a demand from high school biology and chemistry teachers especially, needing rigorous and relevant materials to have for their students. You'll be able to bring that thematic research journey for students to help biomedical researchers like Hannah and Pedro solve problems using both interactive reading passage called Researching Biomedicine and multimedia waypoints. The students' mission will be to explore biomedical and healthcare careers with real-world science. They'll explore the central dogma of biology and how research is used for treatments of injuries, cellular injuries, as well as cancer. Let's take a quick overview of what it's like to look inside the Researching Biomedicine interactive reading passage.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to do scientific research in an actual lab? Welcome to our interactive reading passage called Researching Biomedicine. Not only will you learn more about how to help people with injuries and even cancer through cell research, but you'll get to join real researchers like Hannah and Pedro to help them solve problems. Let's prepare for our journey with the interactive PDF, which I have on the left, and the student section of our passage, Researching Biomedicine on STEMJourneys.org, which I have on the right. Every passage is like a research expedition and uses a system of reading sections called legs, connected by multimedia waypoints to help us learn real-world science in action. As you help Hannah and Pedro analyze real data to answer their research questions, you'll use graphs, tests, and microscope images from reading and waypoints to help solve problems. This passage is sponsored by Sanford Research and available for free at STEMJourneys.org.
A project of this magnitude requires a common focus around science and literacy. Said best by Pearson in 2010, a new generation of materials takes a different approach, assuming that science learning entails and benefits from embedded literacy activities, and that literacy learning entails and benefits from being embedded in science literacy. An interactive reading passage, like Researching Biomedicine, includes all of the things that we're passionate about in one easy-to-use passage, one easy-to-use way that the interactive PDF can bring students all of these without getting overwhelmed, like with using current research, graphing practice, data analysis, citizen science opportunities, of course reading with elaboration, science and engineering practices with all of the NGSS, performance assessments, meeting scientists and engineers like Hannah and Pedro, and of course the meaningful embedding of multimedia waypoints. Let's look at an example of how we've taken adapted primary literature and incorporated it with an interactive reading passage. Each interactive reading passage is separated into a sequence of sections called legs. The first leg is J is for job. This is where we introduce students to the actual STEM careers under study. O is for opportunity, where they get to meet the researchers like Pedro and Hannah. U is for unique, where we study either the natural history or the phenomenon under study, in this case cellular biology. R is for real science, with new is for new science, is the data collection and analysis process, where in this case they get to choose if they're going to help Hannah or Pedro using their data sets and their analysis practice. E is for engineering, and Y is for U, which is the performance assessment for the entire passage. Every leg of a passage is separated by interactive multimedia waypoints. They click from an interactive PDF, bringing them to either videos or maps or graphs or photographs of the multimedia material that they then use to answer questions in the passage. If we look at an example beginning with job, you can see that they read through the material, introducing them to what biomedical research is. Then they click on the waypoint to watch the first video highlighting Pedro and his work in the lab. Let's take a closer look.
Hi, my name is Pedro Negrão. I'm a lab technician here at Sanford Health. Our lab is focused on using stem cells and their therapeutical properties to repair cartilage damage, and also we're testing the stem cells in some rare diseases. I'm from Brazil, and I have an undergrad in science and technology, which is the first cycle of an engineering course from the University of Alfenas in Brazil. The thing that I like most about research is how challenging it is. I like things that challenge me, that put me out of my comfort zone, push me to always be reading about something that I don't know, always be learning. At the same time, this is a disadvantage because there's a lot of frustration that comes with it. You're never gonna get things right the first time. You're studying something that no one ever worked with it before. So failure is in your daily job. So you need to be okay with failing, and failure needs to be one of your steps to success and not the opposite of success. I think that's the main thing.
Now that they've met Pedro, they're also going to meet Hannah in the opportunity leg. They'll get to decide if they're going to help Pedro with regenerative medicine or Hannah with cancer research.
Hey researchers, I'm Ben. I work for Sanford Health, and I'm going to show you what it's like to be a biomedical researcher today. Welcome.
Hannah Wolenzine, and I'm a biomedical researcher at Sanford Research. I work with a team who studies how stem cells can be used to research diseases like cancer. I got a bachelor's degree in biology and chemistry and neuroscience, and now I'm working on my PhD in basic biomedical science with an emphasis in genetics. I work with the genetics of cancer, so we first look at how the genetics of a cell changes to turn it from a normal cell to a cancer cell, and how the genetics of that change throughout the life of the cancer. What are the signals that the cell gets that cause it to grow or to remain alive and not get killed by treatment, with the overall goal of, if we discover what makes the cancer cells unique, we can target them with therapies that we can bring to patients that will help treat their cancers.
You met Hannah, that's great. She's one of many researchers here trying to find out how cells become cancer cells. Let's find out a little bit more about what this type of research means. Here in the lab, we figure out answers about how cells work in order to help people. There is basic research and translational research.
Translational research means that we're bringing our research directly to the clinic, so we call it bench to bedside. So the things that we're working on now will hopefully someday become cures or tests or treatments. So it's really important because not only it adds to the knowledge, but it also can help patients directly.
How does Hannah study all this and why? Hannah uses all these tools and techniques, and she works with a team of other researchers to answer a central question. How do cells know what kind of cell they are? And how does this affect how they become cancerous?
As the student goes through real and new science, they help determine the direction of either Pedro's research answering the central question, how can stem cells be used as therapy, or Hannah with her central question about cancerous cells. Throughout every passage, you'll see a section of various academic vocabulary terms with our easy lexicon system, where we take hard terms and apply them to easier to understand representations. In this case, using MSCs for repair is just a scientific way of saying regenerative medicine, and according to the Alliance for Regenerative Medicine, the process can treat the root causes of disease and disorders to help the body heal itself. Again, the use of this just a scientific way to rephrase some of the more difficult academic terms, in this case mesenchymal stem cells, is part of an interactive reading passage's literacy strategies to make reading and relevance for all readers. Again, they help Pedro and Hannah decide the process of their research and guide them toward the answers for their research journey. Then they get to the waypoints, where they simply click on the interactive PDF and go to this student section of STEMJourneys.org, where all of the waypoints are stored. There's no login, making it even easier for students to use, and the videos, maps, graphs, and photographs are all embedded throughout this site. In the case of real and new science, depending on who they decided to help, they'll either go down the path with Pedro and look at his tests and data, and or Hannah and her graphs and results of her tests using cancer genetic gene expression graphs. Once they get to new science, they're making determinations on how those final studies need to be set up to make sense and be scientifically significant. They make choices based on that type of research, and if they get it right through the passage, Then they are then given a bonus photograph and or a bonus video showing even more research that Hannah is doing in the lab.
I think it is really important to understand genetics, to know that all of our cells have DNA, and DNA codes for proteins, and proteins do everything that needs to be done in the body and in other animals and even in things like plants. Anything that's alive has DNA, and that DNA does some really cool stuff, but things can go wrong with DNA that can also cause disease, such as cancer.
Every interactive reading passage includes a leg on engineering, either for engineering that's involved with the actual study, or engineering design process, and they make a design of their own, or cool careers like this with biomedical engineering and making techniques and tools that are used in the field, like this waypoint that's included for the University of South Dakota. Finally, we're ready for you. You not only includes citizen science projects, in this case, ideas to get involved with the GLOBE program and their air quality campaigns or National DNA Day, but also includes the performance assessment. In this case, students are creating a poster, just like they would do in the actual scientific community, and they use a performance rubric that is aligned to 21st century skills. This process has been used with passages by teachers who've reported back that it's teacher-friendly. The logical sequence of material has been very helpful, and this process also provides opportunities for students to see multiple aspects of the issue in multiple forms. It's real world. It requires students to find the relevant data and calculate, all in the process of instruction that could be 2 to 3 days, depending on the nature of your learning environment. You can see how this is flexible for a variety of learning environments, like at home, in a traditional classroom, an informal classroom, or through distance learning. Don't forget, teachers are given a comprehensive teacher page with the objectives, materials needed, implementation ideas, including our comprehensive literacy strategies along the thematic system of sequenced legs, the easy lexicon system, and the media-dependent watch and write system through the Waypoints, and very comprehensive standards alignment around the academic terms and alignment per leg of each passage, and of course, thorough guidance on how to walk students through each part of the passage, including a comprehensive answer key with Bloom's taxonomy levels. We definitely want to make sure the teacher understands and feels empowered to bring students on this journey. So where do we go from here? Well, first of all, I would like to thank anyone who has ever been on our path to help build STEMJourneys.org. Not only was Liz instrumental for building Researching Biomedicine, but Kim and everyone on our team has helped build Researching Dolphins, Researching Climate, and Researching Biodiversity, which we'll be releasing very soon. Teachers who've used passages and give us feedback are instrumental to building this grassroots vision together, so please keep that feedback coming as I and us together are building this. You might find our literacy-rich materials helpful, like the cards, which are concept and artistic representation diagrams, are very popular, Extinct Animal Graveyard, interactive reading guides like the one for Ali Benjamin's The Thing About Jellyfish, and comprehensive climate science guides that walk students through various forms of research, and our bestseller bilingual visual image sets, or BVIs, which are bilingual sets of image vocabulary sets, both in Spanish or in other languages as requested, that are easy to use, print, and can be done in just half pages for your vocabulary walls. Please stay in touch. We have a new Facebook group called At Journeys with STEMJourneys.org, where we can share strategies with each other and things that have worked well in the classroom. Of course, we've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can download the Researching Biomedicine interactive reading passage for free on STEMJourneys.org, thanks to the partnership with Sanford Research. You can share your journeys on the website. You can email us at learnmore@STEMJourneys.org. And this is what STEM looks like, the future of interactive reading passages and bringing research to people who may not have access to it regularly. So let's celebrate STEM together. Many thanks, safe travels, and stay in touch. Bye-bye.